Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a special treat. We're talking to Alex and Kevin from FanFavz. Crypto Blood asked me to talk to them and to look into their project and what they're doing. Probably because if you guys followed me, I'm a big proponent of using NFTs for more than they're being used for. And like I was telling Kevin, I've always said, since really NFTs were created, that I thought that they were going to be, not just game changing, but it would be helping humanity on these grand levels, which they're not ever used for. They're used for, more entertainment NFTs is what I call them. It makes me sound super old, but I really like the merging of real items with NFTs like collectibles and things like that. I think that's just wide open, that hasn't been explored, and is going to be so awesome. And that is something that they're doing here at FanFavz. So, welcome, gentlemen. Good to have you all here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Sean.
All right. Why don't y'all tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about FanFavz and what you're doing?
Well, I'm Kevin Dietz. I spent about 25 years in the media as an investigative reporter. And a couple of years ago, I started my own media consulting business. And as I was working for clients, this NIL phenomenon started buzzing about name, image, and likeness of college athletes. And so we started looking at that as what could be possible ways for college kids to make money without really interfering with their studies and with their sports, something that coaches would be cool with and parents would be cool with. And we thought streaming and merch would be the way to go. I'm a fan of podcasting on StreamYard. I do podcasts on StreamYard. And I thought if we could have kids in their free time talk with their fans, that would be amazing. They could make some money, and it wouldn't screw up their schoolwork and all that other stuff. And then we talked, of course, about merchandise. If we're doing that, why not have a shop where they can buy a signed basketball or a signed football or a photograph, something along those lines. And that was simply what FanFavz was going to be. And then all of a sudden, these NFT stories started popping out all over the place. And Alex and I became fascinated with NFTs and all of the stories. And of course, so did every college kid that we talked to. They wanted to know about NFTs, and we said we gotta get in. We got to get in on these NFTs. So we became fascinated with the whole idea of NFTs. And you talk about feeling old, maybe, but I'll really age. I was thinking of this of merchandise being a way to sort of bridge from us old guys who used to collect baseball cards when we were kids to young people who can collect digitally and get just as much or more enjoyment out of that than I used to get out of the baseball cards I collected as a kid. So I thought if we could have FanFavz where we have merchandise like I understand, and NFTs and other blockchain gaming devices like younger people have, we might be able to bridge this gap and get people my age to walk backwards or forward. I guess if you're walking forward to the new technology, and it might be a perfect bridge and technology for people to do that. So we're not just including college athletes. We're going to try and talk to anybody, or FanFavz is going to be about anybody who wants to communicate with their fans, whether that's musicians or artists or pro athletes, whoever it happens to be. I think you're muted there.
I said you mentioned well, there's something to be said for the physicality of owning something, that that card and holding it and being able to look at it and so on. But there's pros and cons, because there's so much less work with digital collectibles. There's no, like, it's always a 10. There's you don't have to encase it in Mylar and keep it temperature regulated. It's not going to fade from the sun. So there's a lot of positives. It's easier to transfer. So there's a lot of positives for old guys, that you don't have to work as hard. You don't have to insure them. It doesn't matter if you your attic gets rained in. Does it ruin everything? There is a lot of positives to it. But yeah, it is. It is. I think a lot of older people are going to come back into it because it's a whole new way to collect and catalog.
I think older athletes will too, because I think about retired athletes. Rather than them go to a mall and sit down and sign a bunch of autographs for fans at a mall, they can do it at home. They can chat like this with their fans, whether it's 1-on-1 or 1-on-1,000. They can have a card show right like this. They can sign the things. Who do you want me to sign it for? Oh, okay, your mom. What's your name? Okay, here, there it's signed. You go like this, and that goes. And sure, you still have to ship that off and things like that. But that's a lot less time for the athlete or the artist, and it's the same kind of experience, I think, or close to it.
Yeah. Also, there's a lot. I mean, if you have 500 NFTs with autographs, and you're going to a meetup or a card show or a con, you can literally that person, that celebrity, can spend less time doing the work of grabbing the picture, signing it, filling it out, to just interacting with the fan, and then boop, there you go. Someone today told me it's bootable. It's boop, you got it. But then they have it. They have the collectible. They have the autograph. It comes from his wallet, so it's provable that it came from. It's a genuine article. But the real time and the interaction is spent talking to that celebrity, not having them look down at the desk and scribble away. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think authenticity is a big deal. Here part of your NFT, if you buy a pack, is the opportunity to have a face-to-face with the celebrity. And you can't get more authentic than that, than to be able to win an opportunity to talk to them. You know that this NFT is the real deal if the celebrity is involved in it.
Yeah, and that's something I wanted to hit on. What you guys are doing is gamifying a little bit the NFT drop or purchase. When the original drop goes through, with you being able to win something that's completely special. That not only is you're one of a kind, or specific collectible NFT, but there's something completely unique to one person that they can win, and also, which we talked a little bit before this, but I think that could also add more collectability to the NFT. Even if 5 years down the road, you're buying this NFT, you're not getting the face-to-face, you're not getting whatever the prize was, but this was the collectible that won it. So that makes this group of 500 or 750 even more rare, or more unique than the rest of them. So I think that could also add a level of collectability to it down the road.
Alex, talk a little bit about the importance of community, and part of what he's talking about. When you're in this hunt to win a treasure, you're part of a community that's kind of all in it together, hoping to get that one item. Like in one of our cases with one of our NFTs that just launched with the Tommy Hearns launch, you can get the uniform he trained in. Actually, get that uniform along with rare and ultra rare NFTs, and the whole community kind of can get together in the chase for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, sorry. No, communities, I mean, as we all know, Sean, I'm sure it's definitely one of the most important factors to building a longevity project, as well. To your point, talking about gamifying. All right. Just putting a good utility on the project. So like what you said, 5 years down the line, that's, who knows, the secondary market, the sales could go way up. We could look at CryptoPunks as an example. I mean, the floor is what, 300,000 now per punk. So once you put a good utility mixed with the right community, the longevity of the project is, just on the creators to see how far they could keep pushing it. So yeah, that's something we definitely wanted to highlight at FanFavz, is building the community around athletes. And being a former college athlete myself, and like what Kev said, It was, with the intent to start it to give college athletes now with the NIL a chance to profit off of what they do. It's been great. And then even for former athletes like Tommy, where they come from an era where the only real money they see is up front, and the back end was almost non-existent. So now to kind of push forward that revolution of giving these former athletes a perpetual royalty that now they could pass down for generations to their family because of the smart contract you can put down the will, and now they're forever gonna get that 10% royalty on every sale. So,
So
and
the athletes are going to get part of that back end stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very cool.
Yeah. So now it's to that point, none of that could be possible without building a proper community and putting the right utility on the project. So that's something we definitely have focused on.
Yeah, without a community, you really don't have anything. It's something a lot of tech people don't understand. They're just like, we'll build it, and it'll be fine. Everyone's gonna love it, and everyone will use it. No, you have to have that community. You have to have those regular people, that really are behind it and pushing it forward.
I think the whole Beeple thing, before the next question, I think the whole Beeple thing, I think that's amazing that he made that much money off his sale, but I think people weren't, it went over their head that it took 3 to 5 years to build up the community to get to that $70 million sale, right? Mm-hmm. So without the community, you don't get those big numbers that are news headline worthy, of those type of sales with NFTs. So it's very important to build it out for sure.
Alex, can you give us a little bit of your backstory, where you came from and how you got into NFTs and crypto?
Yeah, most definitely. So I actually I grew up playing basketball my whole life. My father was in music, and our other partner, Steve Haney, he's one of the reasons why I even got to play college basketball. I played college basketball at Long Beach State. So once I was done with basketball, I decided I wanted to go into the music industry. And and once I decided that, I was just getting my feet wet, just trying to just learn and gain experience. And then when I saw the Beeple sale and I'm seeing all these NFTs on my timeline, I'm like, I have no idea what this is. And I had a FOMO of not being knowledgeable enough on the next revolution of technology. So once I learned about that, I just totally went straight into it and figured out how could I be on the forefront of the next revolution. Because again, I am in the music industry, but being a former athlete, I'll never abandon my athlete roots. I think I don't even go into music if it's not for basketball. So that's how FanFavz came about. When I met Kevin, I already knew Steve Haney, and they told me what they were doing. So the athlete in me was like, no, this is definitely right up my alley. Because being a former athlete, I was a walk-on too, so I wasn't even on scholarship, but they still treat you as a scholarship player, and you don't have time to get a job, right? And because you wake up, you go to practice for 2 hours, you do an hour lifting, then you go to class, and then you go to study hall, then you have to get extra shots up to stay sharp, and then you do it all again starting at 7 a.m. So there's no time to get a job. And even beyond, and even for the players that were on scholarship and aren't playing pro now, there's no way they can monetize their athletic ability. So I think it goes both ways with the NIL kids and then the athletes, the legends like Tommy Hearn, where they can't really, it's hard to monetize their athletic ability, 30 years post after their prime. So now that this technology could give everybody an opportunity to be an owner and have a perpetual royalty, I was like, oh, I'm totally in on this space. I just want to help entertainers.
That's one thing people don't realize about scholastic athletes, man. It's more than a full-time job. It's like full-time, 35, 40-year-old career. You're lifting, you're working out, you're practicing for hours a day, and then you're in school. My best friend, he was playing for UT, and he before he left, like, dude, you're not gonna be able to do this. And he's like, yeah. And we worked it out. He had like 3.5 hours for sleep. And I said, you can't do that for like semesters. So they'd be fine. And he got a Bell's palsy, where half of your body is is what's it called, not petrified,
Paralyzed.
paralyzed. Yeah, and it was funny. It was funny because it wasn't permanent, and his body literally was like shutting down because it wasn't getting rest. So he couldn't move his eye, his arm, it was all half his body just shut down, and he had to reassess everything because he was working part time, and I need part time like 6 hours a day for UPS up in Austin, plus full time school, plus full time working out and all, and it literally was like killing him. So they're giving those people a way to monetize their abilities without, because there's other ways to monetize, but it's not within the regulations. It's not, it can lead players on a bad path, as far as compromising them, So I think it's a really good thing that y'all are doing.
No, most definitely.
Yeah, when we talk to the parents of the kids in college, they are really excited about it because they can see this as an opportunity to get in on name, image, and likeness, but their kids are still doing what they need to do, and they can get the sleep they need. They can fit it in on their time in this way, especially with the NFTs, because it's not like they're building the NFTs. They're sharing the story. This is my story. This is what I do. And then someone else is going and building on the blockchain. So the NFTs in particular are a great way for college kids to be able to get involved with the NIL and not cut into what their real priorities need to be.
And that's such a revolution. And that's really what crypto and blockchain is about, is that individual sovereignty. I mean, this never been, maybe LeBron. I'd say he was like one of the first to create his brand at such a young age. Usually it's just all work and purity of sport and all that until you get thrown out into the, after college. And that's when you have to try to create the brand and your name recognition and all that. And you need other people to do that. But I mean, imagine doing that while you're at that age as a side thing, to where when you finally go out and into the real world as it is, you've already established so much. That's mind blowing. It's completely a revolution. It's talking about doing good. If you could tell me a little bit about the Tommy Hearn's release, and after you go over what's going on with that and what you're going to be doing with that, the charity end of it.
Yeah, so Tommy Hearns is from Detroit, and I'm from Detroit, and his story is special. I mean, he was against all odds to make it as a professional boxer, let alone win in 4 different divisions. His career is phenomenal. And when I've gotten to know him, because I was in the Detroit media, and he's an athlete. It's not that big of a town, and he's always saying the same thing. He's saying, I just want to let kids know that they can get there if they get on the right road and they stay on the right road. If you just get off the road a little bit, you can get in so much trouble. And if you just stay on the right road, good things can happen for you, and you can achieve all of your dreams. And so when we were talking about FanFavz with Tommy, and we had already gone down this NFT road at this point, we said, Tommy, you got such a great story. If we can figure out a way to help tell that story with your NFT collection, and take your NFT collection from you as a young kid up through your life story and tell that story, people can really understand and visually see what your messaging is to young people. And he got very excited about that. And he said, well, if we're going to do this thing, we got to find a way to help the kids. And Tommy's always wanted to open a gym and where kids can come in off the street in the neighborhood and they can box or exercise or work out and stay on that right road. A big part of staying on that right road is not being tempted by too many things after school. After you go to school, then you go and exercise, you go home, do your homework, and you stay out of trouble. It's fairly simple, but it's not easy to do. And so he wants to be able to hopefully one day open a gym. And in the meantime, he wants to help get kids into gyms who can't afford to go to gyms right now. So a portion of the proceeds will be going to help disadvantaged kids get into not just boxing, but any gyms or programs that will help keep them, as he says, on the right road. So that's kind of what his NFT story is. That's what his goals are with it, is to help kids. Right? And I give him a lot of credit because he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to figure out what these NFTs are and what this whole crazy world is all about. But he sees that there's potential opportunity, and he wants to jump in with both feet if he can help some people out.
That's awesome. How is that going to work for? Is it like getting just paid gym memberships for certain kids in like the that apply or?
Yeah, we're gonna have kids apply or nominate people who deserve it. Like we kind of call them like hero awards. But you nominate somebody who could use a little help. Mom is at work and the kids come home from school and the house is empty and the kid's a good student. Cases like that, scenarios like that, and there's plenty of places. In Detroit, in the Metro Detroit area, programs that can help kids like that, and we want to find out who the kids are that need it and are deserving, and get them into these programs with the help of Tommy.
Also, some reduced memberships.
For sure. For
gyms that are willing to participate. What are some of the things that some of the physical memorabilia that you're looking at giving away?
Yeah, so Tommy has signed some boxing gloves, which is cool. But he's also has some interesting stuff. He's got some of his old clothes from the 80s, like suit coats that he wore on Arsenio Hall's show. He's got, and I think this stuff is fun. I personally do. I think people will like this. He's got a Bugs Bunny vest that he used to wear, and you can see him in interviews on YouTube. He just loved Bugs Bunny. So his Bugs Bunny vest that he used to wear, and you'd see him back in the 80s in this thing, and he's donated that. Someone's going to get that. He also has a couple of his outfits that he wore in boxing matches, which are really true memorabilia for older guys like us who just want to say, all right, this is from this fight, and he's got a couple outfits like that. I think what's special is he's going to give of his time, which is not exactly physical memorabilia, but he's going to go. He's going to chat with fans who win certain cards, and he's going to do one-on-ones like this. But he's also willing, if it can be arranged, to do personal meets. He wants to. Do some training down the road where he can do, whether it's virtual training like this or in person. So that can be a part of it. He's open to some ideas for the people who win the ultra rares on what they want to do. He's open-ended to do that, where they're guaranteed, of course, to have FaceTime with Tommy, like we're doing like this. But if they're interested in doing more, he's interested in making it happen.
That's awesome. That is very awesome. So where can people find out more?
So FanFavz.com is the website. And if you go on there, that will have all of the things we talked about, whether it's a way to meet one-on-one with your fans, or a way to buy memorabilia, or a way to purchase the NFTs. So we want to, people who are looking for this, we put on the front page, if you go to fanfavz.com, it'll say NFT, Tommy Hearn's collection underway. You can just hit one button and it'll take you right to the page where the NFT sales are. Facings is the company that is doing our NFTs. They do fantastic work. The creative is sensational. Even if you don't want to buy an NFT of Tommy Hearn's, go there and check out the packs that they made in the animation. It's really cool when you buy a pack and then you open it up. A boxing glove bursts right through the middle of the pack, and your NFTs explode out. It's fun. It's fun, and it's well done. Everything they do is great. So we're excited about that. Mostly we want people to enjoy this pack, enjoy this experience, have a good time, and be happy that they were part of this community. That's really what our goals are with this collection. This is our first NFT launch for FanFavz. So we just want it to be right. We wanted to make sure we got the right partners who do excellent work. We want people to say, you know what, that was a really great collection. I'm glad I was a part of it. That's really our goals with this Tommy Hearns launch.
That's awesome. It's also called it's FanFavz. So it's is you going to be sticking to just to sports, or are you going to branch out into other areas?
Yeah, no, we are not just sticking to sports. Alex, is you want to talk about some of the other opportunities? We already have an artist on there who drew for The Simpsons for 4 years, and he's hoping to do some drawing lessons along with an NFT collection from his highlights of his career. The music industry is really Alex's forte, and he's hoping to bring people in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's really for all entertainers, that anyone that could just grow a fan base. And that's the beautiful thing about the live stream component that we have is that, sorry, my throat is killing me, but the dope thing about the live stream component from athletes to the entertainers is now they can monetize the work that nobody sees, right? So if you're a recording artist and you're going in the studio and no one's ever seen how a song is made, you could live stream the whole thing. And that way, one, it builds community because now your fans are seeing the behind the scenes process. And two, if they so please, they could put whatever price they want to get into the live stream. And then same with the college athletes. If they're gonna go do an hour workout with the grad assistant who's trying to get his to be like the official trainer of the team next year, that's an hour of a workout that a young Michigan State fan, a young Wisconsin football fan can go watch. And now they can model their workouts after their idol who's playing at the high Division I level.
Also, that's a level of intimacy and like personal moments that were never possible before.
It's amazing.
Never, unless you were like a crazy person that would stalk someone. That hasn't been a possibility for ever. Yeah.
And that's what's amazing about the Tommy Hearns launch with the unlockable redeemable features that was put in there, is that he was from an era where there was no Instagram, there was no YouTube. The only time you ever saw someone like him was when they were boxing or an interview. So you don't know what their childhood was like. Yeah. You don't know what they did behind the scenes. So now that Tommy's able to give away those things that wasn't accessible then, that's like him stepping into, the 2021 technology. And I think that's across all mediums of entertainment. Musicians are entertainers, athletes are entertainers, obviously actors are entertainers, but anyone that could grow a fan base, that's what we're trying to do. Hence the name FanFavz, right? So
yeah, like I was talking about that crypto and blockchain, that creating that peer-to-peer personal sovereignty, the interaction, which is you're saying for him with fans was literally like the walk to the ring and the walk from the ring. That was the biggest interaction with fans, to where he's at now, where entertainers or athletes are at now. It's awesome. As far as the music industry goes, there's so much more to that now. I don't know if you know Rich Kid, yeah. He just had an NFT drop, which my one of my best buddies worked on the NFTs. They were both plugged into the music industry and doing NFTs for them, mainly in Canada. But I got some of his NFTs, and I had a drop, just a rare drop, and I could have a producer credit on his next album. That's insane.
It's stuff like that makes blockchain tech and the NFTs so dope, is that now these entertainers can partner with their fans, because now in the secondary market, you're an executive producer or you're a producer on the album. If you sell whatever your NFT that you own of him, now he gets his royalty and you guys are making money together. That's also never been done before. Now the entertainer and the fans can be business partners, and they don't even have to meet, and they don't have to have lawyers figure it out. The smart contracts takes care of it. They don't have to chase each other down for money. As soon as it clicks, it automatically sends from one wallet to the next. It's like, it's so amazing where technology is taking, to your point, the personal sovereignty and the peer-to-peer transaction. And it's really an experience as well that you get to work with Rich the Kid, right? So it's curating that personal experience. I mean, you can't put a price on that, in my opinion.
No, it's very, very awesome, man. But yeah, I can put you put you guys in contact with them too if you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys can collab up. They're doing a lot, and the ideas they have for future stuff. They're way smarter than I am. I mean, they're kind, but they think I'm smarter than I am. But a lot of times they're talking about stuff. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Everyone we talk to is smarter than us. Don't worry about it.
Before this, I was on every Thursday. I'm on the World Blockchain Roundtable, and all of those guys are so much smarter than me. Every show, I'm like, I know I'm the dumb guy here. I don't know why I'm here, but okay. And everyone's like, oh, you get the everyman perspective. You can say things so they're real simple. But yeah, they're way smarter than me. Well, let's see. You talked a little bit about what's coming up next. Anything else you guys want to go over?
No, we're just we are excited, and like I said, we're not in a hurry to shock the world or anything. We feel like this is a long play, and we just want to do everything right. So you're not going to hear a peep out of us until we get all the way through this Tommy Hearn's launch and make sure it was successful, make sure the kids got helped in Detroit, make sure Tommy's happy, make sure the fans are happy, and then we're gonna move on to the next thing. We do have a great idea with the NIL and the college space. We're going to do something called the Starting Five, which is going to be a play off the basketball Starting Five, and we're going to have 5 different athletes, probably from different sports, and we're choosing people who we see as real leaders on their teams, kind of captains of their teams, and so that they can kind of show how you can go through this process and do it right, and you can make some money on your name, image, and likeness, and you can also get good grades, and you can also have a good season, and kind of be the lead for the right way to go through this process, because it's the Wild West out there. Everybody's doing everything or anything they can think of. But with the Starting Five, we want to show these athletes who are top athletes, captains on their teams, going through this process and finding a way to do it right so that they are happy, their coaches are happy, their parents are happy. And we are just going to we're going to move slow, and we're going to do it right. And we're going to, like Tommy says, we're going to stay on the road and just keep doing the right next thing. So that's really our plan moving forward, is to just keep taking a project at a time, but making sure that it's done right so that our community appreciates what we're doing and they're happy and the community grows. It doesn't splinter off or disappear.
Awesome. Well, it was good hanging out and talking with you guys. Alex, I hope you feel better.
Thanks. No, I wish I could have had more energy, because I'm so fucking, I don't know if I can curse, my bad. But I'm just I'm so excited about the drop of what we're doing at FanFavz, and just even on a bigger note, just what blockchain technology is providing to the world with NFTs and DeFi and everything. Yeah. So I'm just super excited where everything is going.
I think we're witnessing a evolution. Like this isn't just this is the way things are going to be done. It's pretty exciting. I really
we're gonna have to send Alex some virtual chicken soup.
Yeah,
I would love that. Send it to me in the metaverse, right, Sean?
Yeah. Well, I have links to everything below, so everyone can check it out. What's the actual time frame on the drop?
It dropped yesterday, so we're live.
Okay. They're live because you had said to go look and see what they've done. So go check it out. And also, I wanted to ask this earlier and I didn't. What are the ways people can purchase? Do you have credit card, or is it just for crypto? And what chain is it?
It's on the Wax network, and it's we do have credit cards now. So that's another thing about bridging this gap. We thought it was important to wait until we were able to get credit cards, and this is Facing's first launch with credit cards. And so far, everything's worked smoothly. There's been no hiccups at all, which is great. But we're kind of making that bridge.
Wax is good with credit card. That is one of the better blockchains to use for buying crypto. So check it out. Make sure you have a Wax wallet so you can participate and store them. Like I said, I'll leave links to everything below. It's good to hang out with y'all. See y'all in the next video.
Thanks, y'all.